Changing fractions and decimals to percentages. Our learning intentions are change fractions to percentages and change decimals to percentages. Our success criteria is we will be able to convert a fraction to a percentage and we will be able to convert a decimal to a percentage. Changing a fraction to a percentage. We did this earlier in our first presentation, but we're going to have a look at some more difficult fractions now. So to change a fraction to a percentage, first change the denominator of the fraction to 100 or multiply the fraction by 100. Let's have a look at some examples. So we have 5 over 8 or 5/8 as a fraction. Now it's quite difficult to change that 8 to 100. So this time we're going to multiply the fraction by 100. And that will mean multiplying the fraction by 100 over 1. Because remember when we were working with fractions, any whole number is always over 1. So we will have 5 over 8 times 100 over 1. Now we can simplify the 8 and the 100 by dividing them by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 100 divided by 4 is 25. Now we have 5 over 2 times 25 over 1. We multiply across the top and across the bottom. So 5 times 25 is 125, and 2 times 1 is 2. 125 over 2, or 125 divided by 2, equals 62.5%. Let's have a look at another example. 1 over 4 or a quarter. So using the same process, we'll have 1 over 4 times 100 over 1, multiply across the top and the bottom, and we have 1 times 100 equals 100, and 4 times 1 equals 4. 100 divided by 4 is 25%. Alternatively, we could have simplified the 4 and the 100 and had 1 over 1 times 25 over 1, and you still would have come out with 25%. And our final example is 2 and 1/5. First, we need to change this to an improper fraction, which will be 11 over 5. And from here, we need to multiply. So we will have 11 over 5 times 100 over 1. If we simplify the 5 and the 100, we can divide them both by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 100 divided by 5 is 20. Now we have 11 times 20, which is 220, and 1 times 1, which is 1. So our percentage is 220%. Changing a decimal to a percentage. To change a decimal to a percentage, we can first write it as a fraction and then change to a decimal, or we can multiply the decimal by our 100. So if we have 0.7 as a decimal, we can do 0.70 times 100. We will move, whenever we multiply, we are moving the decimal place. Whenever we multiply by 100, we will move the decimal 2 decimal places to the right. And if we do that, we will come up with 0.7 as a percentage is 70%. Our next example is 5. Once again, that is 5.00 times by 100. If we move the decimal 2 decimal places, our answer will be 500%. And our final example is 0.625. Again, we'll multiply it by 100. So we will move the decimal point 2 decimal places, and our answer will be 62.5%. Now I want you to have a look at textbook exercise 1102 on page 336 and 337. You may not get through all of this work, and that is okay. Just make sure that you have understood the presentation. And as always, if you need any help, please get in contact with your teacher.